Record. We're recording. All right. We're back on Unholy Talks after a long time away for obvious reasons. Mahmoud, how are you?
Yeah, man, I'm not bad. It took us a global pandemic to bring us back onto the show. Life is a bit crazy now. I
Is it
am look.
though? Is it crazy? Are
Yeah,
you
it
are
is.
dude, are you one of these people that are now becoming philosophers while sitting at home, all of a sudden discovering what life is about, how people should act, how I don't these people that are just becoming philosophers sitting in their living room in quarantine? Are you one of
No,
those?
no, I'm definitely reading more. I'm definitely sleeping more. I'm definitely eating more. But I don't think I'm producing anything more, so to speak. So for me, that's not very encouraging. It's also not going to work. Is a little bit something insulting about it, a little bit. So.
You are definitely right about that. Do you think, some people are saying that life is not going to go back to the way it was, or do you agree to that?
Um, no, I don't
Thank
actually.
you.
I think life will exactly go back to where it was left before.
Exactly, right?
I don't think these people who are saying like, "Oh, now we're gonna learn about these things in life and saving planet and resources and all that crap," nothing gonna happen.
I
We're gonna
feel
go
bad
back.
for the world because the day Corona ends, we're really gonna fuck up nature. Everyone's gonna be out drinking. Forests are gonna die from the amount of pollution. I mean, this was the
And
worst thing
then
to
we're
happen
gonna
to the
feel
world.
like we can do it because we didn't do it for a long time. So we can throw that fucking rubbish in the street because we have not done it for a long time. So we
Fuck
can.
yeah, man! You saw these celebrities singing "Imagine," that song from John Lennon, and they were saying the first thing. I think like one of the lyrics. I don't even like that song to begin with, so I didn't even hear it. But I assumed they were singing "Imagine that there were no borders." If there were no borders, we would be sicker than we were. It's good there were our borders,
Thanks
man.
God there is borders,
It's
right?
good that we close the borders, so then nobody comes. Yeah, man. I
That's
think
interesting, actually. That people were this time were actually asking government to be a little bit more brutal and less democratic and take such kind of conditions, closing the borders.
but there's a problem in that, and this is where I might agree with some of the academics out there saying that if the governments pass emergency laws, sometimes these emergency laws outlast and
This one,
outlive the emergency.
yeah,
So if the
yeah,
government right now is tracking your phone because of the corona, once that is done, they'll still be tracking your phone, because
correct,
they'll find
correct.
a
But
new.
tracking, yeah, but tracking the phone was coming anyway. It was just it needed something, and then Corona came, and now they're tracking our phones. But I, I mean, you know what? Let's look at the way we are fighting Corona, right? We are fighting it by the selfishness attitude that all about me alone, no one else, leave me in my house. Even countries locking their borders, as we said. You know, Germany, for example, leading the European Union project and all that, whatever, they have limited the export of medical equipment outside of Germany, for example. And that's, I don't know if you or the listeners actually have checked the death in Germany compared to how many cases they have compared to Spain or
Yeah,
Italy.
it's not nothing. It's
Of
like 30
course, because
people, 40 people.
no, no, no more. It's in the hundreds, but it's not in the thousands. Although they have the same, almost the same cases as Spain or
Uh,
but basically, they're producing machines that's mostly breathing machine and respiratory machines, what's actually useful for this case. So there is this notion of, especially in the West, of course, the notion of me alone, selfishness, stay at home, individuality as well. While you look at the other communities, the Eastern communities, if you like, us, the Arabs, like, hey, let's get together, let's do barbecue because naturally we are responding to what we do best, and security comes about getting together. Where for European Western attitude, security comes at a personal capacity. I think it's a very interesting that we didn't really reinvent the wheel. The immediate solution for this pandemic was like, oh, okay, lock yourself by your house, and it's okay. I understand from medical point of view that it is perhaps the way to do it. But it's there's something sad about it. There's
But the
something really.
Palestinians are also locked out in their home, and the Palestinians were the first. I mean, the PA was one of the first to
Sure.
order a complete lockdown.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
talking about Arabs that love to socialize and everything, the PA was the first to say, everybody home. Don't,
Yeah.
dude, Beit Jala is cut from Bethlehem, is cut from Bet Sahur, is cut from the refugee camps, is cut from, I don't know.
Yeah.
This is what my
And
friends are telling me, and everything is cut from everybody else.
and thanks for the Israeli infrastructure of occupation, it was easy for the Palestinian Authority to close those cities from each
Dude,
other.
I told you, you just got to be patient. Occupation is going to give you fruits. You just have to wait. 75 years later, I don't know what.
It's very sad.
Now we have started to appreciate that, no, you know what? We need the physical contact. We need the face-to-face. Look, even Zoom sucks. Like, I've been working on Zoom and all these meetings. They're awful. Like, it's a catastrophe. It's a disaster.
They will get better.
Dude,
Give us 2 years of Corona, they will get better.
No, man, dude, you know what I do in meetings? I shouldn't probably be saying this, but I mute and then I take off the video and I play the guitar while there is a meeting going on. Because it's just, I don't feel that there is a meeting going on. I just see people on the screen and I don't want this, you know? Which makes me
because we know
appreciate
meetings
people.
are bullshit and they need less necessity in life.
I don't know, but I think after Corona passes, maybe the first wave, I don't know if there's going to be a second wave, I think we're going to close the computers, shut down the computers for at least a week.
Yeah, my phone was not working for the last 3-4 days, and I was like, well, actually, it's great. I don't need the phone now. I don't need it for work, of course, but I also kind of, you feel like you need off all these things in a way. Maybe it's an opportunity to switch off. You know, we designed everything to be switched on all the time.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a good opportunity to switch off a little bit. But again, we're not questioning the necessity of the meetings anymore. So we said, oh, we need to have a meeting. So now we're doing bloody meetings on Zoom. So that's what I'm saying. There's no fundamental change in our life. We're just adapting. In the humankind ability to adapt is pretty astonishing, actually. For them.
Do you think people are going to go crazy after a month if this continues for a month?
I don't think I'm not inciting anyone, but I don't think we were going to be able to continue in this routine for another month, to be honest.
Of course.
Actually, thinking about it, God is the only one who have really thought about this very well, because he or she is the only one who you can meet with without physically being in a place. Because you don't really need to be in church to be connected to God. So actually, he had his own Zoom kind of system that was in place since 2,000, 4,000, 5,000 years ago, not to make anyone upset. And everyone can connect to God wherever you are, in your room, you are in the market, you are in the church or mosque or synagogue. Yeah. But Israel is having a serious problem with the Haredim, with the Orthodox.
I mean, what can you do? I mean, these people want to go and pray. Can you stop them? And
you kind of want them to pray because you know there's 10% in you believe that maybe God can help us.
Dude, the other thing is, if you and I are taxpayers and we are paying taxes for their yeshivas, right? Let them go pray. You know what? We're paying for it. Let them go pray. Let them go pray.
Yeah, but
why the hell am I paying for it if we're going to lock them down?
So it's the end. It is a fight between the ritualists, the religious, and the scientists, isn't it? Who's going to win?
In the end...
What's going to save us? Is it the prayers of those ritualists, or is it the science of those doctors?
Belarus president said it best, the Belarusian president. Apparently he said you go to the sauna and you drink vodka.
Yeah, vodka I understand, but sauna I didn't really know why sauna.
I guess he just has a franchise of saunas around the country. He said, "Yalla sauna, davai brat." Sauna.
You know, at one point the masks were illegal in this country because if you have a mask, then you're trying to cover your head and you're trying to cover your face. Now everyone's buying masks. It's really
now it's the only time where you can go out into the street with the hatta. You know, when the guys shabab do that, and the police cannot stop you because if they do, you're like, safety first, motherfucker, safety first.
My advice is for anyone who want to pray is to pray for the doctors and the medic teams who are trying to do their best.
Bravo,
That's all.
Mahmoud.
They
That was,
deserve to be prayed for, to be honest.
that was a good message right there.
Yeah, and I think if anyone gonna get us out of this is them. So they deserve our prayers and greetings and cupcakes and music and whatever we can give them.
Yalla.
You okay with the toilet paper before leaving? You okay? You need more rolls, or you fine?
I'm very good. Don't worry
All
about the
right.
toilet papers.
All right.
I got
Take
toilet
care.
papers.
Bye.
I got water. I'm good. Yalla. Cheers.
Bye.